Are you serious? It's so devastating. The Hosea prophecy continues to manifest throughout the world. But this is so devastating, I thought I would have to mention it again. And that is 60,000 dead cattle in Bolivia as a cold wave hit, snow fell, and 60,000 cows died in late May in Bolivia. Now, I'm going to thank James McKay for this report. The Cattle Raisers Federation in northeastern Bolivia, province there of Beni, reported Thursday, which would have been May 29th, that at least 60,000 head of livestock have died due to cold wave that has beset the Adrian nation for a week. Folks, cattle just don't die because it gets cold. I mean, come on, really? There's cattle around northern Indiana, dairy farms, and out in the field all the time. In zero. Anyway, the Federation director, Carmelo Artiga, said the situation is desperate and added that the sector needs $1 billion to repurchase the cattle that have been lost and to create conditions that face natural disasters. If they don't get $1 billion to help cover these losses, the price of food in Bolivia is going to skyrocket due to this unbelievable amount of, 60,000 dead cows? 60,000 dead cows? The cows are dying. Dead birds, dead fish, dead cows. The Hosea prophecy. Do you remember when I first broke that story back in January of 2011? And I wound up being featured in Time magazine because they said some preacher in the cornfields of Indiana says that's the reason the birds and the fish and the cows are dying was some scripture out of Hosea. Yeah, that some scripture is Hosea chapter 4, verses 1, 2, and 3. It said, because there's no truth, there's no mercy, there's no knowledge of God in the land. Because of the swearing, the lying, the killing, the stealing, and committing adultery, God said he has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. The land is going to mourn. The land is going to languish with the beasts of the field, the cows, with the fowls of heaven, the birds, and the fish of the sea also shall be taken away. Folks, Zephaniah prophesied it the same way, but said, and mankind will die too. See, God is trying to get our attention. Are we listening? Or is it because, and that's why I wrote the book Hosea Prophecy, and it's only at my website. You only find it there. But also, after I was featured in Time magazine, I was interviewed by CNN, and it was on Fox News and Yahoo News and Google News and ABC and NBC and CBS and all these guys. They all were all like, oh my God, something apocalyptic's going on. But then when I told them, I said, guys, the reason it's happening is because of sin, 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 sin. And they even quoted the scriptures right in time. But they finally said, you know what, we don't want to talk about this. I said, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's going to continue. It is the Hosea prophecy. And it has unbelievable amounts of birds, fish, cattle. By the 260,000 llama died in Peru. I'm talking 7,000 bison down in Vietnam. We're 7,000 bald eagles in Canada. 30,000 sheep in Uruguay. It doesn't ever stop. And they don't want to cover that no more. Very few news outlets will even touch it because the answer is man's sin. It's man's sin. Well, we're in a critical condition now, folks. Spiritually, this world needs Jesus Christ. Please, give your life to the Lord. Even the National Geographic. I'll put the link down below of the Time magazine article. I'll even put the link down below of National Geographic Wild did a documentary in which I'm featured in it, but not because of the prophecy of Hosea, but because they wanted to make fun of me while they tried every way in the world to make excuses for why the animals are dying. And they were poking fun at the preacher while they did it. They need to be very careful. Not because of me, I care less. I'm a kind of comical guy anyway. They need to be very careful about mocking God. Because God is not mocked. Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. So when you mock me, you're mocking God, because I'm his ambassador. You're mocking the king. And that's not going to work. Give your life to Jesus Christ. We're living in the last days. We'll talk about this tonight on our live broadcast and tomorrow. God bless.